Welcome back to House on Carrion Hill, House of Bob's cosmic horror adventure played in Pathfinder 2nd Edition in the Galarian campaign setting.
Hi, I'm Dan. I'm playing Willen Dappen, the Gnome Wizard.
Hi, I'm Janette. I'm playing Bimpkin, the long snout rat oracle.
Hey, I'm Shubert. I am playing Knib-Knub, the razor-tooth goblin fighter.
I'm Trevor, and I'll be playing Theobald, the orc investigator.
And I'm Shaun, your game master. If you like what we do and you want to support the show, visit us at patreon.com/thehouseofbob. Last time on House on Carrion Hill, the adventurers investigated the destroyed home of Old Man Marchand, finding it to be the site of both horrific deaths and untold destruction at the hands of an unknown creature. Knib-Knub warns the group not to go any further, but despite his protests, they descend into the dark tunnels beneath the city once again. So you find yourselves beneath the city. You have just fought a small group of small creatures clothed in dark cloaks and hoods, some armor. They attempted to use poison daggers on you before trying to wiggle their way past you through the darkness and escape down a set of stairs that goes deeper underground. The darkness has been lifted, allowing you to see the room with your dark vision. So right now, Knib-Knub and Bimpkin, who are in the room that these creatures were found in, find themselves in a irregular shaped room where there are mounds of rubble lining the walls. It's partially collapsed in here. Here and there you can see patches of brickwork that maybe are foundations of other buildings or something like that. There's a rounded alcove in the north wall, but it lacks a sarcophagus like the ones in the previous room. And that is about it. What do you do?
Well, Willen will join them in the room.
I think Knib-Knub would like to go over to the guy's corpse that we killed.
Okay.
And check it out what he's got on him. He's kind of interested in this dagger because he distinctly remembers somebody saying something about a shiny dagger.
Yeah.
Or a shiny knife.
Yeah, you see that it is a small creature, grayish of skin, long pointy nose sticks out from beneath the hood. It's got heavy work boots on with a soft sole on the bottom. They do have 2 daggers. One was bared in each hand. They kind of are small, like well-made, but kind of rough of style. You see a bit of a smear of something black on the blade. It looks like a lot of it has rubbed off as they attempted to strike you and poison you. You search the rest of the body, and you find a small leather pouch on their belt, as well as a small money pouch.
Boring.
Well, is the leather belt magical?
Bimpkin asked if something was magical.
Yes.
Are you using Detect Magic?
Maybe. I don't think I have it, though, now that I'm thinking about it. I do not.
Okay, so these knives that you described, they're not shiny.
They're sharp, but not shiny.
Okay.
All right, I have Detect Magic.
All right, so Willen casts Detect Magic, and you detect no magic within the room.
Okay.
Theobald is going to activate one of his investigator abilities called Pursue a Lead.
Okay.
So he's going to spend about a minute examining the details of a potential clue. In this case, it'll be this creature, to sort of try and understand the context of what this creature's doing in this cave and how it pertains to us and like our quest as well too.
If nobody would like, I will take the belt. Leather is always good, very useful.
It might help you remember to put on pants.
Yes. That not so much, but you never know. Thank you.
Do you sometimes wear a belt without pants?
No, I have not done this. Is this fashion?
It could be.
Interesting. Well,
Yes.
I don't think I've seen, but perhaps I will try.
Yes. You can be the first. The fashion lead.
Aren't you concerned about getting pantsed?
About get? I'm not familiar with term pants.
That's why I wear suspenders most of the time.
Oh, yes. Those are very nice.
Happen all the time in town. Pantsing left and right.
All right. Thank you for your vamping. I appreciate it. All right. So, Trevor, you're naming this creature as a subject of Pursue a Lead.
Yes.
Okay. And this is the only lead you're following so far, right?
Yes.
So, Pursue a Lead, the investigator gets to pick up to a certain number of leads. So, you currently have one active investigation, which is this creature. What was he doing here? What's going on? Going forward, whenever you take a perception or skill check to investigate things related to this dead fellow, you get a +1 bonus to the check. So I can give you maybe additional information about things that you're looking for. Right now, looking around the room that you saw previously, that you just came from, it looks like the bedrolls and campout area that you saw in the previous room may have been used by these creatures, potentially. It looks like a dead end. As well, the door that led into the campout room was barricaded from the campsite. So you think maybe these creatures were hiding out in here and they barricaded up the door for some reason. And when they heard you guys coming, they all hid in the back room.
Well, I imagine like maybe guards came down here and stuff too. So after the incident. So I'm guessing they probably just heard some people moving around and they tucked in here to hide.
It's possible.
Did we investigate every other room already?
There is a set of stairs that you haven't gone down yet.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But we've kind of explored everything on this floor, right?
It seems like it, yeah.
Okay.
The other creatures went down that set of stairs.
All right. Well, help me pick up the body. I'm going to go put him in the sarcophagus.
Why?
I don't know. You see a coffin, you're like, let's put a body in it.
I guess. Isn't there already a body in there?
Well, I thought it kind of fell out. I mean, there might be room for two.
It's not a very large creature. Could put it at the feet of whoever else is in that sarcophagi.
Well, let me just see if I can like wedge him in there. I'll put him by the feet and we'll see how that goes. I mean, you have to think these are like bones too, right? So there's a lot less body mass.
Do you think this is good body? Like if you say how to transplant your own head into someone else's, like how you think into another body, would you think this good body?
Well, they're quick. They're like the same size as we are right now. So it's not really an upgrade on that sense.
Yes, this is good point.
They are a lot faster than us because they got away real quick.
It's a little bit freaky looking though, no?
That's true.
Wait, did you say there was bones inside that body?
Yes.
But I think so. But you should not disturb anymore. Leave body alone. He probably, want to rest now.
Well, he's got forever to rest.
I think Theobald's ready to start heading down those stairs.
All right. So Theobald, you begin to descend down the stairs. I'm assuming everybody else is going with him?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You begin to descend down this very long stairwell. It goes down maybe 20 feet and then turns to the right at 90 degrees and then begins to go and dive almost straight down at a very steep angle down into the earth. Only slightly winding to the left and the right occasionally, kind of like it was just haphazardly cut down into the earth. There's more rubble lying on the stairs here. The swath of dried and foul-smelling black slime cakes the entire width of the stairs as well. There's water dripping down along the walls here and there, leaves these narrow trickles through the slime. In some places, you see deposits of calcium beginning to form from this water to form new stalagmites. The stairs go for hundreds of feet, and eventually your legs are starting to ache from the exertion of so many steps, and many of them are so irregularly spaced. As you descend, the architecture changes every few flights as well. First, you've got this distinctly Taldan style with onion-shaped domes that atop the archways. Occasionally, there's another circular alcove that has a sarcophagus in it. Then you come to this level where the walls and columns supporting the roof are bedecked with opulent marble carvings of angels clutching skulls. Then there's a level where large reliefs of an imperious-looking man with gems inset into his bald forehead stare out from the walls blankly. Finally, you see the end of the stairs and come to a much larger room where the stonework is much more ruggedly carved stone and natural cave formations.
All right. If I had to guess, how far away would I be from, like, Old Man Marshan's house? Like, how far away have we ventured from where his house would be, do you think?
You could make a survival check.
Sure.
So are we going almost straight down?
It's not straight, but it's pretty steep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I got a 19 on my survival.
Okay. You would assume that with the distance that you traveled, you're probably maybe 800, 900 feet underground.
Hmm.
I think it's pretty deep. Definitely, you can feel the weight of that rock above you wherever you are now. And you know Carrion Hill is a fairly large hill itself, but you might even be beneath, like, the river level.
Yeah.
Can I also do a religion check and see if there's any connection between these angel statues or this guy with the jewels?
Sure.
And the symbols we've been seeing? 22.
Yeah, is there any names on them as well?
You don't see names on them, but if you're thinking of various religions that they might be associated with, you know that the Taldans, the first kind of strata that you went through, at the time that you think this may have been built, were fierce worshippers of Eridan, the first, like, human ascended god, one of the ancient Aslants, who became the god of prophecy, and just like 100 or so years ago, suddenly vanished, and all of his clerics lost their powers, and prophecies just stopped working. So that's kind of a more recent event. Mm-hmm. And then you're not able to directly connect these angels with the skulls to any specific religion. It's Galarian. Angels are real. So maybe whatever society it was that built this previous incarnation of Carrion Hill worshipped some, divine or holy creatures.
I think what baffles Theobald the most is how the architecture of the stairs changes only within certain sections of strata, that we are so
especially
deep.
How they're lower.
Yeah, right? It's almost as if we are descending through time as well as through space. And it's like not that the stairwell was built in a specific place, but they were built at a specific time. And it's like, I don't know. It's messing with Theobald's mind.
Theobald could make a society check.
Yeah, I can make a society check. 17.
Okay. So one of the kind of common knowledge about Carrion Hill is that it's been inhabited for a very long time, and that previous countries before Ustalav did build here. Taldor once invaded this country, and presumably they captured Carrion Hill. Now it's gone back to the Ustalavans, and you've got this constant shift of who controls this area because it is strategically important.
Hmm. Well, what's throwing me off is, like, there seems to be only one entrance so far to these different sarcophagi. Like, you think there'd be more than one entrance or more than one path that we'd have stumbled upon now?
Unless at the bottom of the stairs it opens up into, like, a maze of other pathways. We've simply found a single route that will eventually connect and spread out from there.
Who knows? Maybe these are all Old Man Marshan's, like, distant relatives or something.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys emerge out into this larger cavern area with ancient stone pillars supporting a stone ceiling. Thick sheets of pale fungus and mold cake most of the surfaces here. To the south, the hall has collapsed in rubble, but to the north, you can see that the cave opens up into a vast cavern in which you see eerie glowing lights flickering. The thick, dry smear of black slime, as well as these strange circular prints in the mold, run from the stairs away from you to the north.
So I'm interested in this water pool up to the north.
All right.
Yeah, Theobald would be following some of his smaller companions as they explore to the north as well, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Willen, you head up to the north and you see that as you get past this processional of stone columns that support the ceiling, you come to an area where the cavern becomes even more immense. The floor is very uneven here. There's lots of loose stone and fungus, and that's kind of this mishmash of like soil, rock, fungus, stalagmites, stalactites hanging above. You look up and you see the ceiling rises above you like a church cathedral to a height of nearly 100 feet. There's this glowing fungus on the walls, giving everything this ugly blue and purple hue. On the western side of the cave, there are toppled pillars and mounds of rubble. To the east, you see a huge mound of fungus, bones, and rubble. Atop the mound is a flat-topped altar of stone with towering barren trees rising on 3 of its sides. The trees' leafless branches twist upwards, groping for the ceiling above, searching for warmth and light that they'll never find. A trickle of sludge flows from the small hollow at the base of the altar, slooping over rocks and bones to gather in a swampy pool to the northwest. The swath of black slime winds from the passageway that you came from up into the mound. You also see a dead body.
Oh my God.
I wasn't sure if that was a carryover from last time.
Immediately, just as you pass the processional of pillars, you see a dead body. Another one of these creatures, the ones that you fought above. It looks like it even might have been one of the ones that ran past you, Willen. Dark cloak, gray skin. He appears to have been attacked by something with gouging claws.
Oh no.
Wait, I am trained as a field medic. Let me examine.
All right, doctor.
Yeah.
You can look at my claw gouges and compare them.
Yes, this is a good idea. Bimpkin got a 20 on a medicine check.
Bimpkin leans close, standing over top of this creature, poking and prodding at it, trying to find out what was it that caused these wounds and caused the death. When you notice that there's just a faint amount of breath coming from the nose. Seems like he's still alive, but in some sort of rigid rigor mortis, like he's paralyzed or something.
This man, he still breathes. Or woman, I suppose. I don't know.
Oh, do you want me to bite him?
I don't think it's
maybe
necessary.
That will not help.
I believe he might be paralyzed.
It would help him die.
Well, I guess if you think of it that way.
We could ask him some questions if he were to wake up.
Yeah, I'm just looking, seeing if I have anything to jolt him awake. Electric arc. Stand back.
Clear.
I love the idea of using that spell to resuscitate somebody.
Just with your fingers rather than together.
Quickly, before Willen zaps this poor creature back to life,
Yep.
Theobald would like to make a quick perception check on perhaps maybe the relationship this one had with the other one that we found.
Sure.
All right, so with my circumstance bonus for pursuing a lead, Theobald gets a 16 on his perception check of this creature as it's in a stasis of almost death.
You can see that they're dressed very similarly. It may even be like a tribal uniform almost, or they have the same sort of work boots. You can see that they both have the same sort of dirt on their boots. Seems like they may have been working together. So definitely they appear to be from the same group.
Mm-hmm.
Do these boots look comfy?
They look sturdy, but they also look like they're fairly quiet.
Quiet, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Can Knib-Knub try them on and see if they fit?
Sure.
You're going to have to put mud inside them
I don't care.
if you want to feel mud in there.
Oh, yeah.
As you are prying these boots off of this paralyzed body, I'm going to need everybody except for Theobald, because he's already rolled a perception check, to roll a perception initiative.
Knib-Knub only got a 12.
Okay.
28 for Bimpkin.
28 for Bimpkin. Wow. And Willen.
25.
25. And Theobald, I'm sorry, you're stuck with a 16.
Cool.
As from the darkness around you, you hear... Mousies. More mice have come to play. And then... 3 creatures run from the darkness at you.
Oh.
Oh, that is not the same thing.
These are not the same thing. You see these tall, gaunt humanoids. Their flesh is purple and rotting.
Gross.
From their mouths dangle these incredibly long tongues, 15, 16 inches, just lashing with what looks to be some sort of bile dripping off. They all have fang-like teeth, and they rush at you. The first one, coming from behind the altar, runs down the mound and leaps through the air, landing directly beside Theobald. He's going to go straight for the bite, attempting to latch onto you with his teeth.
Gross.
That's my thing.
That's a 22 to hit.
22 is my AC.
All right. You're going to take 13 points of damage plus 5 sneak attack.
No.
Now I need you to roll a fortitude save.
Oh, no.
It's like the worst thing to hear.
All right. Fortitude save. Boom. Natural 20. I got 30.
Nice. Okay, so I need you to roll one more fortitude save.
Oh, no.
I
Bullshit.
don't understand what this means. I don't like this.
Wow.
29.
Oh, okay. You feel this numbing sensation radiate out from the bite, but you manage to shake off the paralysis. Bimpkin, it's your turn.
Okay. Do these things have eyeballs?
They do.
Okay. Bimpkin will turn to the one that's just north of him, and he'll say, "You're too scary to look at. You shouldn't even have to see your face." And he'll cast blindness on him.
All right. What kind of save is that?
Fortitude.
That is a 14.
Ooh, he fails.
Yeah.
So what happens?
So he's
Nice.
blinded for 1 minute.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice.
So right now, everyone is hidden to the ghoul. Whenever he makes an attack roll, he also has to make a DC 11 flat check. So just rolls a D20 and needs an 11 or better in order to hit. So that's your 50% miss chance, like in first edition.
Mm-hmm.
You can also be undetected or unnoticed.
Cool. All right.
So he knows you're around, but you are hidden from him.
Gotcha.
And then for my last action, I will take out my Staff of Fire.
Oh, okay. Draws the Staff of Fire. Willen, your turn. 1 square south of Willen is this ghoul that leaped out of nowhere and attacked Theobald. You're all huddled around this paralyzed creature on the ground. What do you do?
Okay. I'm just going to take a step back from him. So I'll move 5 feet back and I'll be beside Knib-Knub. And then I will cast Daze on him and see if I can stun him.
Okay.
So he has to make a will save. DC 21.
Got a 29.
That's pretty good.
Not a critical success, just a success.
All right. So no effect, looks like.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Willen steps back, casts a spell of this creature, starts to get a better look at him, and sees that this one is a little bit taller, a little bit more alert, and has this shock of hair falling down one side of his face. The creature turns towards Willen with a
Oh,
"Another mousey tries to take me down."
I think I found the leader.
All right. The other creature from the other side of the room, not the one that was blinded, is going to scamper through some of this difficult terrain, past the pillars, right up to Bimpkin,
No.
and is first going to attack with a claw. That's a 12 to hit.
That is a miss.
Second attack with finesse, a natural 1.
And you die.
And he just quits.
Yeah, suck it, ghoul.
Takes his,
Goes
throws his
home.
name tag on the ground.
Boo.
All right, the blinded ghoul is blinded, so I'm going to say he's got to move half speed. So that is 20 feet. Still kind of moving towards you guys. Can hear the ruckus of the attacks. He will make an attack on Bimpkin with the claw. That's a 28 to hit, but to confirm, that is a 14 on the concealment, so he will hit you.
Oh.
That is 3 points of slashing damage, and Bimpkin must make a fortitude save.
No. I would like to use a hero point if this fails.
Oh, yes. Remember that you guys, it's a new session, so you have 1 hero point.
27.
You succeed. You also shake off the paralysis of the first strike, but here it is coming around again. Second claw. 7 to hit.
Oh, that's a miss. But as he hits me for the second time, I would like to try out a new spell called Blood Vendetta. So if he's dealing piercing, slashing, or persistent, please.
Oh, so with that first strike?
Yes.
You're going to do this? Okay.
If I can.
As a reaction, I see.
Yep.
Tell us about it. What happens?
As he slashes out at me, Bimpkin will just turn his head towards him and narrow his eyes and say, I curse you and your stupid blind eyes. And as a result, he will be cursed. It's a DC 21 will save.
Natural 20 for a 25.
Oh, so you're fine.
Sorry. Theobald, this creature came out of nowhere, ran straight at you, bit you, attempted to paralyze you with his teeth. You're standing face to face with him. What do you do?
Uppercut. Punch him in the face.
I like to think Theo just has like a background in boxing. just that's it. Yeah.
He has a barkeep.
Just happens to have a third eye.
Yeah, that's totally it. 18 from Theobald with a +1 striking hand wrap of mighty blows. Uppercut.
That made the uppercut sound cooler, that's for sure.
As your fist comes up to crack him across the chin, he just whoosh, slides back, Muhammad Ali style. He is the greatest. Sting like a butterfly. Float like a bee.
Theobald just rolled his eyes with all 3 of his eyes.
Actually, Muhammad Ali.
That's a miss.
That's a miss. Okay, so can I attack again?
You have 2 more actions.
All right, I'm going to bite him. He tried biting me, so...
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Rip his ear off.
Well, I'm going to use my tusks. I'm not really going to bite him. I'm going to bite him with my mouth closed.
Gore him.
Theobald rolled a 12 to attack with his tusk.
Ooh, that is also a miss. You got 1 action left. Some advice for our players.
I'm going to step back.
Yeah, you don't want to take 3 full attacks from any monster ever. They usually are better at hitting than you if you're on par.
What if you want to die?
Or you could die and roll a new character, up to you. We got Jake waiting in the wings with that character, I think. The other piece of advice...
Is that a threat?
The other piece of advice is knowledge is power.
Oh, do some sort of check on him. See if we can find out his weaknesses. Yeah, it's free to do a check like that, I believe, right?
Mm-mm.
No?
1 action to do a recall knowledge.
That's an action. Because it's so
dang.
good.
I
Because
see.
knowledge is so powerful.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm going to roll a quick perception check on this chompy Muhammad Ali stupid face.
Keep in mind, you'll probably take a full round attack from him next round then.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I'm just going to take a step back.
Totally up to you. I'm okay with either.
Okay, well, I'm going to take a step back between the 2 pillars, keep a pillar between me and the other gross guy, and give myself a little space from old chompy McBiterson.
That brings us to Knib-Knub.
He's trying to get these boots.
Yeah, you're trying to pry these boots off of this creature. You got the laces most of the way done on the second one. You're ready to put them on, but Bimpkin beside you is surrounded by 2 of these strange, long-tongued creatures attempting to bite and claw him.
What do I do?
What do?
Do I get the boots or do I help my friend? Oh, this is so hard.
Maybe the boots could be your friends.
Oh, the boots could be my new best friend.
When we're all dead.
You got her.
I was like,
Got him.
Bimpkin's your best friend?
I look over at Bimpkin, and he doesn't have a scratch on him. His clothes are finely pressed. And I look at myself, and I'm just covered in blood and scars and scratches. And I'm like, he's probably fine. And Knib-Knub is going to take a 5-foot step to the south to the guy with the hair down the one side.
Okay.
Who is biting at Theobald earlier?
Yes, who was trying to attack Theobald. But I wasn't really paying attention to that. I was more focused on the shoes at that point. But I'm going to take a step over to this purple guy. He seems like he's calling the shots here. So I'm going to try to intimidate him into backing off. And so my first move is going to be an intimidating strike.
Ooh.
Hey, you and your boys, get out of here and stop bugging me and my boys. That's Tom and the boys. I rolled a 19.
Total it up, and if you exceed his AC by 10, that's a critical hit.
Right. That's a 35 to hit with my can opener grill.
That, my friend, is a crit.
Yeah.
For the listener at home, that's a 2-action ability. If you crit, the target is frightened 2, and you'll deal full damage.
And on a critical success, do I get the can opener jaws?
Yeah, if that's what you hit him with.
The can opener grill special? Sweet.
He has to make a reflex save if you get a critical success. If you're successful, his armor becomes broken.
And he is wearing armor?
No, he's not wearing armor, but you do deal 1d6 points of bleed damage.
Nice.
So no broken, but he is bleeding. Okay, on his turn, you'll roll a d6 and you'll bleed.
Awesome. And I still need to deal damage for
You sure do.
that attack. 14, double that is 28.
28 points of damage. All right. Bravo. You chomp into him. He yowls in pain. He is really quite upset.
That's how you bite.
Mouses don't bite back.
So you did 28 to him?
28 plus he's frightened too. Solid. All right. The undead creature in front of you.
Mousies don't fight back. Don't bite. I bite. I'm going to eat you, little thing.
And he strikes down, attempting to bite you back.
It's a bite off.
Natural 1.
Yeah, we'll see who's the best biter.
He's not off to a good start. He's shaken a little bit from this intimidating strike.
Nice.
All that damage. He's having a hard time landing something. Second attack. 15.
That misses.
In frustration, he's going to switch to a claw with his last attack. 21.
That also misses.
Whoa.
It clinks off my armor.
It clinks off your dinner plate.
Mm-hmm.
And it is Bimpkin's turn.
Okay, so I was trying to look up disengage actions.
Yep.
Is it 2 or 3 actions to disengage?
Something you should remember is that not every creature has an attack of opportunity. That's a recall knowledge to know, to be for sure. In an attempt to escape, you can do a step and move 5 feet away.
Okay, it's just different than 5e, right?
Yeah.
Just so very rarely that I run away from everything.
Yeah, I think a step is your best bet. You might have to step twice if you want to get away from both of those creatures.
Okay, so I think in a panic, Bimpkin notices that he's got 2 of these things surrounding him, and his pal Knib-Knub, his best friend Knib-Knub, has moved away from him, leaving him all alone. And he'll sort of start to breathe really heavy, and then he closes his eyes and his breath steadies, and he casts Vision of Weakness, which allows him to learn. Let me see here. So I learn any weaknesses that the creature has and 3 saving throw modifiers that are the lowest.
And there's no save or anything.
No.
Vision of Weakness. Now, is this an oracle spell?
It is.
All right. Suddenly, all of you see these wisps of light swirling around Bimpkin. And these ghostly ephemeral hands come out and prop him up. And then move from him and begin poking and prodding at the creatures in front of him. And you hear these as voices whisper. You know that they have no overt weaknesses. They do have negative healing. So healing will hurt them, whereas necrotic damage will heal them. You know that they have a fortitude of +4, a reflex of +9, and a will of +5.
+9. Jesus. Okay.
And I need you to roll for your curse.
Oh, yeah. Right.
So, for those at home, Oracle is an interesting class, and this is the most complex class we've got so far, even above Investigator, I think. Janette's really stretching her muscles here. Oracles are the first and main class ability that they have is a curse. Oracles are casters, just like anybody else. They gain their powers from a theme or a combination of powers rather than choosing a god like a cleric does. Every Oracle has a mystery that they're associated with, so you are the Ancestor's mystery. Now, this means that Bimpkin has a divine connection to his family and to his ancestors. Voices of past generations haunt and teach him things. That comes with a curse. When he uses one of his Oracle font abilities, you are affected by the ancestors. You roll a d4, and one of your ancestors begins to meddle and become predominant over what you're able to do. They begin to poke and prod and make choices for you in a sort of possession sort of fashion. So you rolled a d4, and what did you get?
I got a 3, which is spellcasting.
One of your ancestors or haunts is forcing you to take spellcasting actions.
It's actually not forcing me at the moment. It's just a preferred action.
All right.
He's encouraging me to cast a spell.
If you try to do something else, though, you have to roll a flat check, don't you?
No, this because it's the first action.
Nope.
When you
try to use one of the types of actions listed for the other ancestors, you must succeed at a DC4 flat check.
But you said that's if it goes into the moderate curse.
It becomes DC6 if it goes
only
moderate.
the minor at the moment.
Yep.
Minor is just preferred, I thought.
Minor is a DC4 flat check, and moderate is DC6.
Okay.
You don't get that bonus until moderate.
I see. Misunderstanding.
Welcome to the game.
I didn't really look into this until after, and I regretted my choice immediately.
I think some cool stuff's going to come out of it.
I think feeling defeated in the fact that he barely learned anything and that these guys are pretty powerful.
You learn that heal will hurt them.
Yes. I will step back.
That brings us to Willen.
Willen is going to... He sees an opportunity that he can't really pass up. So he steps past Bimpkin and up a little bit north, creating a diagonal line of ghouls to the south of him.
There you go.
Having done this before now, he spreads out his feet and bases himself as he casts Lightning Bolt. So they're going to make a reflex save. DC 21.
First one, a 12. Second ghoul, a 29. Natural 20.
Okay.
So second ghoul will take no damage. The first one will take full damage.
Okay. So I do 31 points of damage to the one ghoul who sucked. Probably the blind one.
The blinded ghoul is just fried as this lightning bolt streaks out of your staff and slams into his chest. The other ghoul kind of ducks and dodges out of the way, yelping in surprise. That first ghoul is just a charred husk lying on the ground.
Nice.
You like that, you little bitch?
All right. The second ghoul, the one that dodged out of the way, lashes its tongue, hisses, and is going to step up over its dead ghoul companion straight towards Willen.
Oh, no.
And will attempt to strike you with a claw. That's a 12 to hit. Misses. Second claw. 14. Another miss.
Mm-hmm.
Theobald, it is your turn.
Theobald, taking a step back last round to sort of get his bearings, is now getting his bearings and devising a stratagem. You know what? 30 seems appropriate.
Ooh, a 30. Nice.
So move up to him and hit him. Whack.
Okay.
Whack, bam, boom. Knuckle sandwich here. Theobald rolled a 17.
17 points of damage. Nice. You know what I just realized is we forgot to roll bleed on this guy. Knib-Knub, can you give me a d6?
Sure can. That's a 4.
That is a 4,
Ooh,
and he
nice.
continues to bleed. That brings us to Knib-Knub's turn. Now Knib-Knub and Theobald are catty corner across next to this ghoul, surrounding him. What do you do?
I'm pretty upset that he didn't back off like I told him to. Most people, when I bite them, they run away. So this is upsetting. I'm going to bite him some more in an even more intimidating way. 27 to hit.
27
Nice.
is a hit. So he is frightened too.
Nice. All right. And for my last action on my turn, I'm going to scream at him. I'm going to go for Frighten 3. Let's see what happens at Frighten 3. 23.
23. All right. So he bleeds at the beginning of his turn. Roll me a d6.
6.
6 points of damage from the bleed.
Yes.
And I roll me a d20. He is going to continue to bleed after this turn. He's real pissed about this situation. He's got one guy uppercutting him on one side, got this little goblin biting him on the other side and screaming at him. He's going to do a swift leap
Oh.
and launch himself up, bounces off the side wall, and lands behind Theobald.
Oh, dang. And that doesn't provoke an attack of
Does
opportunity?
not provoke attack of opportunity.
Yeah. All while saying parkour.
Parkour.
Little mousies can't do parkour. Ugh.
And he will strike Theobald with a bite. 22 to hit.
22 is my AC.
All right. You're going to take 17 points of piercing damage,
Holy smokes.
Oh.
and you make 2 fortitude saves.
Oh,
Theobald, you got to show this guy the Thunder Wave. He doesn't think we can parkour.
First fortitude save. Theobald rolls a 26.
All righty. Good. Next one.
25.
Man, you're a wizard.
yeah, those are good.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to go down, Orc. Lie down. No one likes you.
Strikes
Whoa.
with the claw. 23 to hit. You're going to take 13 points of slashing damage and make another fortitude save.
What the fuck?
God. How did he get to do so much attack? Parkour and attacked?
Parkour and attacks.
Tom, don't listen to him.
A lot of that was psychological damage.
I like you.
4 health
Ooh.
and fortitude save of 18.
Uh-oh.
And a second fortitude
You
save.
just need to do the first one.
Oh, no.
The claw does not impart ghoul fever, but it does impart paralysis, save DC of 20. Theobald is at 4 HP and he is paralyzed.
That's so bad.
Oh, dang.
That's not good.
Not good at all, but the ghoul has finished its turn. It is Bimpkin's crack at the can. What are you going to do?
Cry. For heal, I could do a 3 action heal, which would be a range.
An emanation from you, right?
Yeah, but I'm trying to determine if
Do that.
What level are you casting it at?
it would be a first level.
So it would just be a D8, but everybody in 30 feet would get hit by it.
Yeah, and
Oh, and they... Wait, no, they take damage from healing.
Yeah,
So that would be
that's kind of what I'm
sick.
thinking.
Oh, man, that would be so amazing.
Okay, so that's what I'll do.
You can kill one bird and heal another bird with the same stone.
As long as Theobald doesn't get hit again, because if he gets hit again, he might go under.
All right. Roll me your healing amount.
Oh, max 8.
8 maximum, and I rolled a 12 for the ghoul's save.
You fail?
Not a critical fail.
No, almost though.
Okay. And the second one rolls a 6.
That is a critical fail.
Oh.
All right. So the ghoul minion will take double damage, and the leader ghoul will take full damage, and everybody else heals 8 points of hit points.
Yay!
Hit
Yay!
the boys. Hooray, Bimpkin.
Do you want to describe what your heal looks like?
It's like a very lazy, gray, bluish wave that kind of looks as though it's going to be a little bit slimy as it approaches,
Ew.
and you maybe don't really want it to touch you.
Ooh.
Nope.
But then it touches you and it feels so good that you just like embrace it and lap it up.
Oh, the ectoplasm washes over you.
I feel like Knib-Knub would be into this. It's kind of gross and slimy.
Knib-Knub might dig it.
Squishy and gross. Oh, yeah.
I'm really back and forth when it comes to slime.
You're very specific. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm specific about my type
Yeah,
of slime.
you have textures you like.
I'm becoming a bit of a slime connoisseur.
Black slime, no.
Yeah.
Willen, your turn. You are face to face with the weaker ghoul.
Yeah, he looks like he's teetering, does he not?
Does look like he's on his last legs.
All right. I have an idea. And Willen will pull out the old classic magic missile.
Ooh.
So he's just going to stand where he is and just fire 3 missiles off. He's hoping one will kill him, and then the other 2 he can use on the big bad.
All right, so first one goes at the nearby ghoul. So you're using 3 actions, so you're shooting 3 missiles.
Yep. 4 damage for the first.
All right, the first ghoul dies.
Yeah!
Yeah.
All right, and 3 for the next one.
All right, he takes 3 points. And last one.
4 for the next one.
All right, Willen with the magic missile.
Not bad.
Zap, zap, zap. And Theobald, it's your turn. So you're paralyzed. You're allowed to take mental actions only, including things like recall knowledge if you wanted to. And at the end of your turn, you can attempt another save to see if you can clear the paralysis.
Would I be able to go into like my Sherlock Holmes mode and figure out like what punch, what to hit, and sort of apply my devise a stratagem and also apply my strategic strike so that if I apply with the strike that would be intelligence, I would be getting extra damage when I don't have paralysis.
So anytime you do devise a stratagem, your strategic strike is automatically on it.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. You could do the devise a stratagem and hold that for when you get free. I would allow that.
Cool. Then, yeah, I'll devise a stratagem. And while I'm devising, also consider the a bit of occultism core skill of seeing how these creatures would fit into the catacombs.
These guys will be a religion check.
All right, so my devised stratagem would certainly be the striking hand wraps of Mighty Blow's uppercut.
Mm-hmm.
Theobald would roll a 24.
Okay, so remember that for next round if you're free.
And while I'm also imagining giving him an uppercut, I also consider the religious implications of what I'm doing at a 10 on his roll.
Most gods would be cool with you killing this guy. This is what
Cool,
you think. This is what you think. You're like, Pharasma. Pharasma doesn't like undead. I think that's a thing I heard.
Yeah, sweet, cool. I'm in the clear. I'll be fine.
All right.
And sorry, you said at the end of this round, do I roll some kind of a check?
Yes. Make a fortitude save and you need a 20.
Come on, Mama needs a new pair of shoes. 28.
All right.
Woo.
You're no longer paralyzed and no longer flat-footed. It is Knib-Knub's turn.
So Knib-Knub's going to head around the pillar just north of this crazy-looking guy.
Yep.
And circle around behind him. Hopefully he's distracted by Theobald. And I'm going to try a power attack. 26. I think that'll be good enough to hit him.
26 is good enough. And lucky you, you're going to do 3d6 this time because power attack lets you add an extra d6 to your damage.
Nice.
That'll be 11 total.
11 points of damage on the power attack. It is the ghoul's turn. The ghoul looks back and forth between Knib-Knub and Theobald surrounding him, seeing that the paralysis has worn off. He hisses.
Mousies should go down. You'll see me again.
And he slashes out at Theobald with a claw. As a last salvo, a 32 to hit.
Oh, yeah, definitely hits.
Is that a crit?
My AC is 22. Yeah, so 10 over is a crit.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
24 points of damage.
Okay, so I'm at 12.
Uh-oh.
Do I go into negatives?
You go to 0, and then you start dying.
Okay. So 0.
Yep.
Is there any rules about taking massive damage in this game?
It would have to be like your max HP, like in excess of whatever that number would have been. So you're okay there because he would have, I think Theobald has like 65 max HP. So
Yeah.
All right, one attack takes Theobald to the ground. The creature then begins to flee using his swift leap.
Oh.
As Theobald falls to the ground, he calls him a total little bitch.
Total little.
Oh no.
He's so fast.
He's too fast. That's
He only
too
has
many-
2 actions, remember?
What?
Yeah, 2 actions gets him around behind the mound, so he's obscured from you guys. So the ghoul leaps over Theobald's unconscious body, evading Knib-Knub's attempt at an attack of opportunity because mobility lets him evade that. He rushes around the corner behind the mound of bones and rubble. You guys all take a look at Theobald down on the ground, bleeding out. Knib-Knub, you see your friend collapsed, unconscious. You look around, you see these creepy trees reaching up towards the ceiling, the sludge on the ground, the black ropes in your memories flooding forward. And you remember. You remember a day where the sun was low and the evening was cool. Big summer bugs were buzzing through the tall grasses, and Knib-Knub scampers through, laughing and chomping at butterflies that flutter away just before his teeth snap down. There's a taller human. They're skinny in a bright green cloak with a huge mound of bushy hair bobbing atop their head. They bound past. They're twirling a long animal bone like a walking stick. Both Knib-Knub and this human laugh as the little goblin leaps into the air, attempting to bite down on the end of the bone. They chase each other back and forth through the field, using trees and large bushes as cover as they play their game of tag. There's another human sitting on a blanket. This one's very bulky and strong in a dark blue tunic with a big shock of hair standing straight up from their head in a mohawk. They're reclined in contentment and relaxation as they watch the pair chasing about. They close their eyes, leaning back to bask in the day's last rays of sunshine. For a moment, Knib-Knub, low to the ground and sneaking, loses track of his mommy. Where did she go? Where's the stick? He perks up an ear, listening. A rustle to the left. Knib-Knub grins and narrows his eyes, then, with a pounce, launches himself into the bushes. There's a loud chomp, followed by a scream of pain. Ah! The human on the hill bolts upright, looking out for their family. There's a commotion in the bushes. They stand, panicked by the scream of pain, and then hear, "Ah! My leg! My leg! Knib-Knub, why?" The mommy with the mohawk begins to run out into the field, watching as a small figure sprints away through the grass. Hours pass, and the forlorn Knib-Knub treks through the dark, his eyes rimmed with tears. He sniffles and stumbles, looking back over his shoulder. A call comes out of the darkness. Knib-Knub! Knib-Knub flinches and ducks, then scampers blindly towards a pile of rocks. He clambers up, then suddenly slips over the far edge and falls down, down, down. With a crack, he hits the bottom, water splashing around him. He looks around, dazed and stunned. Lights flash in front of his eyes as he gropes about with his hand for support to stand. He finds a wall of slick stone bricks, looks up, and sees a deep blue circle of starry sky high above him. Suddenly, Knib-Knub is aware of the space around him. Knee-deep in water, there's this stink of fetid water filling his nostrils. It's one of the grossest things he's ever smelled, and he was born in garbage. He attempts to stand, but suddenly notices that something slimy, like thick black tentacles, have wrapped around his legs. He struggles, but the thing just grabs him tighter. He begins to thrash, biting out and clawing at the creature that's grabbed him. In his struggle, he slams his head against the wall and everything goes black. 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 Knib-Knub sees only black, and then this sliver of light begins to appear. He forces his eyes open and sees that he's sitting in his favorite chair in his mommy's house. His mommy sits across the table from him, staring out and away over his head. He tries to speak, to apologize, but his mouth is full of wet cotton or wool. Both mommies suddenly open their mouths wide and a deep, gravelly voice rumbles, "This is how you die." Knib-Knub struggles, attempting to bite, attempting to flee, frozen in place, unable to move or even turn his head, and he watches as the walls, the ceiling, the glass, the wood, the stone all begin to tumble in, shattering in splinters, exploding and pulping and pincushioning. His mommies collapse, screaming and dying under the weight of everything. Everything pushes down under thick black ropes, tentacles, snakes, writhing, squeezing. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks once again for listening to the House of Bob. If you want to support the show, there's a few ways you can do that. Number one would be to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. I know nobody really likes Apple, but it's the best way to do it. You can also find us on social media and follow us at the House of Bob on most social media. There you can find links to our Discord and to our Patreon where you can support us. Come chat with us on Discord. We're always around. Come support us on Patreon. Your money goes towards making the show possible. I'd like to thank all of our patrons: Ben, Connor, Pedrig, Brandon, Ron, Team Eamon, Pavel, Christine, Tom, Elias, Mark, Mary, Jessica, Ray, Scooter, Tyler, Josh, Keith, Bluckett12, Tom, Jessica, Kieran, Mike, Luke, and Volt. Thank you so much. You make all of this possible. Art for this episode is by me, Shaun Makes, at Shaun Makes on all social media and at ShaunMakes.com. Audio design was by Alex at Astronomic Audio. And music for this episode is by Mike Hammock. Roll on.
Whenever you use your DM voice, I just imagine my mom being like, "Oh, he's so captivating."
I get very nice compliments from Janette's mom.
Sorry.
Okay, so here's our other pathways and stuff.
Tell me about what you're doing. Tell me about where you're looking.
Sorry, we're just gonna we're playing a
We're
mini
just
game over
zigzagging
here.
through
Yeah.
the map. Yeah, meta. Sorry.
Must uncover
right.
fog of war.
Such a scary thing to say.
Mhm.
Do they have eyes?
eyeballs?
Just checking.
You got eyes? Not anymore.
All right, you gotta be Mike Tyson. It's kind of like a headbutt then.
Yeah, it's kind of like a headbutt.
A tusk butt.
Yeah,
A tusk butt.
sounds like an insult. You tusk butt.
Oh, the tusk butt.
Filthy tusk butt.
Don't listen to him. Keep doing drugs and alcohol, kids.
The devise a stratagem.
High five.
Yeah.
We know who the cool one is in the relationship, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Because my whole plan was to just keep stacking how frightened he was until he's so frightened that he runs away.
Or dies of fright.
Yeah, one of the other.
Yeah.
I would take a heart attack. I guess a heart attack isn't necessarily dying of fright. It's more dying of poor cardiovascular health.
I tried healing a bird with a stone once. It didn't work.
Oh, no.
What kind of missiles?
What kind of missiles?
Like nuclear?
And what do they look like?
Yes.
ICBMs?
Yeah. That's essentially what they look like. They look like little
They
missiles with fins on the
they
back.
actually fire off from a mountain in the distance. and,
Yeah,
like,
I had to
burrow
pull them
through
out of
the
my
ground.
backpack. It was awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not magical. I just have to like set the ignition on them and stuff.
You're just a Mac
Yeah.
that launches.
I turn my 2 keys and then
Brap, brap, brap.
Nod at yourself as you're about to do
You
it.
get a call from the president. That's it.
Yeah, I hang up the red phone and we're good to go.
Mr. President, on your mark.
Parkour.
What?
Do parkour.
I don't know what that means.
Do a
More
flip.
parkour.
Yeah.
How would that be useful?
It'll be sick.
All right.
Oh, now my AC is 16. Whoa, cool. Good old Foundry is updating everything for me.
Thanks, Foundry. Thanks.